Hey everyone, and welcome to another episode of Tips and Tricks. My name is Zaid Halatsis.
I'm Persis Archimanis. Tonight we have some new faces. Let's see what kind of magic they bring to the table.
This next submission is from Goyal Harsit, and let's see what it looks like. Thank you so much for the submission.
Thanks so much, Goyo.
You have submitted before, I remember your name, and I think it was cards again. So you're a card guy, so that's nice.
Yeah.
So that was a very nice submission. First of all, good job for just not doing a production at the beginning.
Yeah,
Just like
taking out the aces. Yeah,
perfect.
that was great.
Thank you
I
for
like
that. But when you display them, we cannot really see the pips.
Yeah, let me illustrate that.
Yeah, because the reason that you display the cards is, to make sure that everyone sees the pips and the aces, because they don't
You
have
hold
like
the
the full
aces
face.
and you display them like this,
Yeah.
and your hand kind of. So I would say if you want to display cards towards the audience, I know we had a little bit of
No, yeah, we discussed this.
discuss this, and you should do it like this, so they can see the pips. Because a lot of times we may do this, and I can show you the aces. This is for me, not for the audience. You want to do it like this for the audience.
Yeah. So, generally it was a great routine. We do not have so many things to say. The move that you use to, how do I say this?
To turn over the mystery card that appeared.
Is it okay to say this word, or is the exposing? It's not the. It's yeah. It looks like you're scooping something.
Yeah.
Which I get because it's required to look like this. So we suggest that you do it on the aces. Like, instead of taking the aces and scooping the selection,
Yeah.
do it on the whole pack. Then again, it wouldn't be easy to have everything you need in the packet in the correct order, but it looks kind of strange when you have the selection. You do this kind
Yeah,
of.
you have one card down and you do
Yeah.
this move. If that card was between the aces,
Yeah.
it would make more sense
to
to.
scoop.
But you have to readjust some
Yeah.
handling maybe.
Yeah. Also, in the second phase, there's no need to shuffle after you place the card inside.
Yeah, you have the card out jog like this.
Yeah.
Just put it in and do this. The wonderful display you did.
Yeah, it's in the middle. Doesn't need to move.
Yeah. Which was a nice display, by the way. I like
Very
that,
nice
that
display.
line.
Indeed. And then the only thing I would add would be that in the end, first of all, when you try to get the police,
Police?
the cop,
Oh yeah.
when you try to do that move, it was a bit
Yeah, fiddly.
Yeah, it was a bit fiddly, so maybe speed it up. But then my issue was that you send the card you transport it to your pocket, which is out of the frame. It's
Yeah.
on way back. So I would suggest while you're on that move, just take the deck, the box,
Yeah.
and produce it from inside the box, which
Yeah.
was in the frame the whole time. Because it's a bit awkward to go to your back pocket, etc. But it still worked.
Yeah.
It was very nice. So
I personally would love to see a presentation. And I know it's supposed to be a silent,
with music, yeah, etc.
but again, you know, it's, for me, these type of effects where you have 4 aces and 1 card, there's a lot of room for a plot there. What are these 4 aces? What is the selection? What can it represent? You know, there is a lot of room to talk about stuff.
Yeah. I don't mind the presentation with the music because I would love the presentation, but it's okay. It's one of those effects like, do you remember the one that Featherly did with the back and forth, the old one, not the recent one, with the music, and we still told him to do a presentation because some kind of effects require it.
Yeah, it was needed.
Yeah, here it was just, you know, a sandwich effect, but it would be better with the presentation. Everything is better with the presentation.
Yeah.
But yeah. Anyway, thank you so much for the submission. Say thanks.
Thanks. El próximo video es de Alex.
Está en español, vamos a verlo.
¿Seguro quieres cambiar? Ok, va, entonces esta no, porque ya la vi. Agarra esta carta. Sí, véala. Sí. Va, ¿empiezas? Ahora sí, para que se compruebe que sigue en el centro y empújala. Para que quede completo. Va. Entonces hacemos esto. Y si te concentras lo suficiente, podemos hacer que sea como un elevador. ¿Y la carta? Sí. ¿Cuál era tu carta?
6 de corazón.
Sí, de corazones. Entonces, como puedes ver, esa es la única carta. Sí, de corazones, ¿verdad? Para que no digas que tiene otra. Vamos a hacer esto nuevamente. ¿Va? Ponemos aquí la carta. Juntamos. Y esta vez ni siquiera necesito tocar la carta. Volteala primero. Vamos a hacer algo todavía más difícil. Me voy a volver a perder la carta. Y voy a hacer unos paquetitos. Otro acá. Y otro acá. Quiero que selecciones nada más uno. Ok, voltea la carta de esta arriba. ¿Vale? Entonces, préstamela. Aquí. Y voy a cambiar la mesa. Cualquiera de esos voltea la primera carta. Bueno, ahí está arriba. Podemos ver que las cartas son completamente diferentes, ¿va? Pero hay algo muy extraño. Cuando la carta entra a la baraja, sucede lo siguiente.
No.
¿Va? Pero esto es solo una ilusión. Porque cuando la carta no está, podemos ver que todas y cada una son completamente diferentes, ¿vale? Pero eso es todavía más extraño. Porque la carta que elegiste, en realidad, nunca estuvo en la baraja. Voy a pasar las cartas y me dices si la ves. ¿La viste? Todo el tiempo estuvo en la caja. Por favor, ábrela. Y dentro hay una carta.
Thank you for that submission.
Thanks, Alex.
You almost said it in Spanish.
I almost said gracias.
So, let's start with some basics. First of all, before we get on with the magic, I have to say that just because you use the video zoomed right and left doesn't mean I didn't notice that
Yeah.
it was shot vertically.
But it was an Instagram video though that he re-uploaded in
We'll let it
YouTube.
slide,
Yeah.
but yeah. Also, I wanted to say that the video was lagging at some points. Did you notice that? It was like
Yeah.
choppy and at some point like a green thing popped.
Probably because of the conversion that he did of the video to
Yeah.
upload it on YouTube.
We've said it before, try to keep a clean video, because it's magic. I mean, you could
Yeah.
not have, do a cut in that kind of video because you had the spectator. But yeah, try to keep a clean video. That's all from me. Let's go into the magic stuff.
All right, into the magic stuff. First of all, we understand you're using a reverter deck. And there are a couple of pitfalls that a lot of us have done when using that. And one of the most important thing is that you're adding too many phases because you have such a tool that allows you to be as free as possible.
And it's easy.
And it's easy, yeah.
Yeah.
You begin, not you, but general.
Most magicians, yeah.
Yeah, you begin with it, so the card and it comes on the top. Then just you cut it, and then I'll go to the next room and just pick up a card. And you have this confidence
And the freeness.
in the freeness.
Yeah.
So you overdo that. I would say whoever is using a deck, just do 3 phases.
Yeah.
Just do 3 phases, and you don't have to do that ending. I'm just saying, just because you can, you don't have to.
Yeah.
You can use deck
Yeah.
much more covertly.
Yeah, I mean, at some point they're gonna realize that something is up with the deck.
Yeah. If you
If you do like a million times and you're like, oh, you can cut there and I'm in the next room, and it's
it's
At some point-
yeah, it's beginning to become obvious. That's
sus.
Yeah.
It's becoming suspicious. Okay, when it comes to Svengali, I also I'm not a fan of the way that you have to do like to
The display,
like this, then like this, then
this one.
yeah.
This thing.
It's
There are 2 ways you can do it because at the end you do a dribble like this. You can easily just turn sideways and do the dribble like this so you can show the faces, or you can just riffle the cards like this, which is much more natural than have to bend your hand.
and I think that it bothered me because you did it a lot. Like you overproved.
Again, it comes back to the fairness because it's so invisible and so
And so easy, and
So it's natural, but you have to fight it.
Yeah, because especially that display, it's the most unnatural thing to do. Like
Yeah.
nobody would do a dribble like that.
Actually, there's a trick that you can do with that deck that not many people know. That you can actually overhand shuffle that deck. If you take that deck, if you can do it face up as well, and do like this in blocks, you will be surprised that they stick together. So I've done it before. You can do it as well. You can go like shuffle the cards, and you can just mime the spectator, shuffle the cards, so they will take it and go like this. And it's amazing because it adds to the freeness.
It's a bit bold.
It is a big ball,
Yeah.
but again, you can do it, and you can do it face up, and that's a good thing. So if you want to display it, you can shuffle it as you're talking about. Like you don't have to point it out.
Should we address the elephant in the room? There's no presentation.
El elefante.
El elefante. It's
There's a lack of presentation.
yeah, which leads you to subtitle a lot.
Yeah.
We're gonna do this. We're gonna do the other thing, etc. Which it's natural because you don't have a presentation.
Yeah, overproving it. You
Yeah.
know, you're giving the card, and then there's no other card like this.
And you seem to not have faith in your deck. I don't want to say the name, but
in your props, yeah.
even though you're very free about it, there's a point like where you give them the card, and you want to make sure that
Yeah. And
have faith in it.
And the same goes when you do the 3 piles. You go, okay,
Yeah.
okay, okay.
Trust.
You have to trust
Both the
your
deck
tools.
and yourself. And yeah, you don't have to do this. It looks cleaner if you just trust it. But then again, don't over trust it to the point you're gonna do a million phases and then it's just okay. That means he's not doing anything. It's the deck. So
As a final word, this is a fine tool you have there, and you have to use it wisely. And this comes with experience and with while you work on it. It was an amazing submission. We love the effect, but put some presentation, put some reasoning behind it. Not just be I can do anything, because that's your presentation basically. I can do anything. So
yeah. But anyway, great submission. Thank you for
so much.
submitting.
Our next submission is from James Pena or Pina. I don't know how it is pronounced. Let's see what it looks like.
Thank you so much for the submission. Okay. When you submitted the video, you said, I know my slides need work, but give me some other tips.
Yeah, what other tips can you give me?
Yeah. But you submitted a video with no presentation,
No music.
literally
sound.
no sound
Yeah.
at all. What should we give you tips on? On your props, get better coins.
Okay,
We're gonna give you tips on your slides.
Yeah, we're gonna talk about slides. We're gonna talk about the structure a little bit. You know.
Yeah.
We'll find
Yeah,
something
yeah.
useful that you can take away.
Okay, so let's start at the beginning.
All right. You begin by we guess that you're trying to do Leonard Green's, production, from the dribble of cars where you produce various stuff.
Yeah.
He produces his jacket, his shoe and stuff.
But
It doesn't quite work with 3 coins.
no, like when I saw it, I thought that your presentation was like, I'm gonna transform one of the coins to a card.
Yeah.
But then you were holding another coin. I was like, no, that's
Didn't
so
make sense.
it's a bit confusing because with the cards, because there are loads of them, if you produce something out of them, it makes sense. When you have 3 coins or 4, whatever,
Yeah.
it doesn't make sense to produce something out of them.
I mean, you can easily just produce one card.
Yeah.
If to be honest, for me, it would be quite better to have a card in your pocket.
In the frame somewhere.
Yeah, or in the frame. Take out the three coins. Take out the card, and begin your routine.
No need to do a production, but
Yeah. But if you want to do a production, make a production that doesn't have to do with the coins because it's a little bit confusing.
It's a bit awkward as a move. So then you want to do. Should we say the name of the move?
The name.
Who's gonna know it? That's
Yeah.
not a magician.
It's the Benzea's friction poem, and you do it from a fan, and you go like you hold the coins, you toss them.
Yeah. It needs more friction.
Yeah,
They need to be in that position.
better do it as it's supposed to be. It's like from a stack. You can begin with the fan, but then stack the coins as you're doing the Benzea's move, because it looks a little bit awkward
Yeah.
in the hand.
Then in the vanish you do. You want to make a coin vanish, and you like move it from hand to hand. Then you have to use economy of motion when you vanish stuff.
Let's break it down.
Yeah.
3 coins. I'm going to put them in the hand. I'm going to take one out. I'm going to put the 2 coins on the table. I'm going to put it back here. And then I'm going to make it back. Do you understand how many backs and forths do you have to do to vanish 1 coin?
You can do it more. I mean, if you were speaking, if you had a presentation, you're like, we're gonna take this coin and we're gonna make it invisible.
Yeah.
Then the back and forth movement makes sense. If you're like without speaking, it doesn't make sense. Like you wouldn't display an object and move it from hand to hand with no reason.
And if you want to do it like this, if you want to use the Benzea's friction poem, you can go like the coin. You toss all the coins. 1, 2. The final is here. Go like this. 1 hand. You don't need to do this back and forth because supposedly all 3 are in 1 hand. So you toss them. 1, 2. You mime the action.
Yeah. Also, you do a move that's meant to switch,
Yeah, it's supposed to be a switch.
which is not needed there, I think.
Not at all.
Is it?
No, it's not.
Unless I don't know something about the method, but I'm pretty sure you don't need to switch the coin there.
The thing is, you have the card. You have another coin on the table,
Yeah.
and instead of just putting the card on the coin on the
Above,
table,
yeah.
you do that, and then put it like this,
Yeah.
which is
Unnecessary.
yeah.
And
It doesn't.
like we've said,
Maybe he wanted to prove that there's nothing on the card, so you have to turn it.
but
above.
it looks even more suspicious.
Yeah.
That's the don't run when you're not being chased thing that we told you.
Yeah.
Nobody thought like, don't overprove it. It will look great if you just place the card on top. And then in the ending, we get it because we've seen a lot of magicians do a 3 fly or something like that, and you want to do something different.
The thing is, magicians have seen a lot of coins across,
Yeah.
3 flies, coin through the table. So, as a surprise ending, everything goes back. But it has been done so many times. First of all, it's not a surprise anymore. And second of all, for a lay audience,
It doesn't make sense.
yeah, they want to see the final coin arrive at the destination. They want to see the final coin going through the table. All 3 came back. you know?
Yeah. And if you're gonna do it, then at least in the end do the last coin. Because they're left with that, but what about the third coin?
Yeah.
Like the OCD people out there, you're gonna kill them.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, because you do 1 coin, 2 coins, and then they all come back, and they're like, the third one though. So yeah, try to be, to give a proper ending to your effect.
Absolutely.
So that was it. Generally, it's a great routine. I would love to see it with a presentation
Yeah, or with any sound.
or a sound. Yeah.
Yeah, or music.
But-
we want to see what you will work on it and how.
Yeah, but
what's
the
the final.
stuff that you did require. I mean, if it was music, I would still have told you the thing about, because it still doesn't
Yeah.
make sense. So I think you need the presentation to, make it work.
justify
Yeah.
the movements.
Other than that, very nice submission. Thank you so much.
Thanks. Our next submission is from a former winner of the tips and tricks. It's from Kamal Naft. It's called Coincidence Aces.
Thank you for the submission, Kamal. That was a nice demonstration because it was not exactly a routine.
Wait. Let's start from the beginning. There are a couple of things we need to talk about.
Yeah.
First of all, you call that routine coincidence aces. There wasn't any coincidence. It was a demonstration. So, that's not for the title. It's not like, people will think, but it's for your state of mind, When you try to present an effect in a specific way, it's good to have a very clear vision of what the effect is.
Yeah.
And now I know it might sound like a jerk,
Don't say- okay.
but stylistically, since you're wearing this beautiful, looks like a Versace shirt, you should get a better blindfold, something to fit.
Or I would love it if you wear a shirt with a tie and then remove the tie and did. A lot of performers do that and it looks nice, but that's never mind that.
Stylistically, yeah.
So
Let's go to the routine, yeah.
Let's go to the routine. So, At the beginning, you do a lot of shuffling, and it's not needed, because if you just did one shuffle, it's shuffled. And because you do not speak over it, I mean, if you were speaking and as you were presenting the effect, and I'm gonna do this, blah blah blah, and as you spoke and you kept the interest of your audience, you shuffled so they unconsciously know that the cards are mixed. It's okay.
Actually, I want to do a shout out to our friend Jeremy Griffith. He just started a YouTube channel. You can check it. We will have the link in the description. And his latest video, or one of the latest videos he did.
Because this episode will air a bit later.
Yeah, one of the latest episodes is about randomness. And he has some great info on how impossible the numbers of different kinds of shuffles can be in a deck. And if you just change one card, how this is like a unique, completely unique state of a deck that, it's very rare to occur. This is really interesting. You can add that as you're shuffling the deck.
Yeah.
You can talk about stuff like that to make it more interesting.
Yeah, because the spectators will both understand how fair it is.
Yeah.
And it's an interesting fact. You will keep their attention.
Exactly.
So, of course, you had no presentation here, just with music and demonstration. Yeah. So, if you want to do it like this, just do one shuffle and be done with it. There's no need to overprove it.
I would like to add, and we said it before, I'm going to say it again.
Yeah.
When spreading cards, we're really used to doing stuff for ourselves, So if you at the beginning you want to spread the cards, so you go like this, and you show all the cards are different. Yeah. That's basically what you're showing.
It looks good for you.
It looks good for you, but not for the audience. So you must learn how to spread the opposite way, so they see the pips, right?
So also, because you do not have a presentation, you do not speak. A great example would be In and of Itself, which we both saw recently, right?
Yeah, the Gaudia's wonderful show.
Yeah, it has a gambling demonstration in the show, and he speaks while he does it, and it keeps your interest,
Yeah.
Because there's a story behind it, etc. While if there's just music playing and you're just dealing cards, it's not that interesting to watch.
Yeah.
So we would suggest, because you deal the aces, I think you should reveal the aces
one at a time. You deal you reach your ace.
Take a pause,
Then.
So it's a hit. So it's something interesting happens, because I know you're building suspense, but
it's too much time. You need some rewarding psychologically to your audience to have extra beats. Yeah.
And it would be nice to have an extra bit of magic in the end. Like, I don't want to say what, but you could have something.
If after that shuffling and dealing, the card was in a new decoder, the deck was in a new decoder.
I expected the deck to have something.
That'll be a really nice kicker.
Yeah.
To show, since it's a demonstration, it's nice to show.
It's a various demonstration, but I think it was not enough in the end. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I needed some boom.
Some extra, an extra.
An extra kick.
Yeah.
Other than that, great demonstration, nice technique, and thank you so much. This next effect is from JP, and let's see what it looks like.
So a very common problem that magicians are faced with is separating cards that they need from cards that they don't in the middle of a trick. And we start with a shuffled deck, where we have this sort of jumbled set of cards. And we cannot straightforwardly just do this in front of a spectator, right? This would be very obvious. So let me try and show you what we do, what sort of sneakiness we do, right? So we have red card here, black card here, red card here, another black card here, and same thing here, you can follow along. And all we need to do is this sort of move, and you'll see that it seems like nothing happened, but we have all of the red cards here, and of course all of the black cards here. Now, that was a little bit of a process, right? So let me try and do this in a more sort of straightforward way, okay? So I have black cards on top, red cards on the bottom, and I'll try and interweave the cards so you can clearly see, oops, sorry, that's another black one here, and finally this one here. So you can clearly see that they're interweaved in a red-black order. Let's put the top 4 cards here, bottom 4 cards there. We do the move, And of course, all of the black ones are here, all of the red ones are here. Now I know what you're thinking. I did this sort of interweaving action with the cards face down. So let's try and put that face up, so you can clearly see what's happening. All right. But I will say this though, in this sort of 8-card deck, it's very simple to set that pattern of red, black, through the 8 cards, right? But actually in a 52-card deck, that's near to impossible to get after a random shuffle. So let's actually do this harder for me and introduce some chaos into this pattern. And I'll do this by shuffling a little bit. It's a completely legitimate shuffle with a cut maybe, and maybe a second shuffle just to be sure that these things are as mixed as they can possibly be. You can find this is also, you know, a very straightforward shuffle. So we'll take 1, 2, 3, 4 cards here, 4 cards there, of course. All we need to do is the move. And although nothing seems to have happened, of course we have 4 black cards here, 4 red cards there. And that's how magicians separate cards.
Thank you, Jimmy, for that submission.
Thank you. Okay, so let's get started. We don't have so many things to say because your technique was very good.
Yeah, well, I want to say this because we talked about the spreading thing. What do we say about the pips?
Yeah.
It's okay that he spread the cards like this because the values don't matter.
They don't matter.
Specific.
It's just
It's
black,
about the colors.
red.
Yeah.
So yeah, in that case, it's fine. Okay, so I want to say, should we discuss about the script first?
Okay, I'll say my opinion. I was never a fan of faux explanations. You know, when you say, let me show you how magicians do that, and then you proceed to do an effect that obviously has nothing to do with a real explanation. But that premise, I don't know. I was never a fan of it because I thought to myself, a lot of times when we do that, you give them something to hang on to. I mean, even if it's amazing.
Absurd.
Yeah. What?
Absurd.
Even if it's absurd, still, I mean, if it's for instance, let me let's just say in an ambitious card, when you say want to see how magicians actually control the cards, it's actually a really fast move. You go like this and you just bring it to the top, which is absurd, but people, I think they hang on to that. Like, okay,
it has to do with speed.
Yeah, it's plausible, maybe, and I would say, especially with the all-in-water plots, when you have this separation of colors, again.
Yeah, but in that case, it was very he did that. I mean, there was no logical explanation. It was more magical than logical.
Yeah, but because
process.
It was so magical, I think it fits much more a much more interesting presentation than just this is how we separate the cards when we need them.
Okay.
I don't know.
Anyway, that's about the presentation, not about the the moves. What I also wanted to say is that you do a lot of phases,
Yeah,
and
3. I think it's 3 phases.
yeah, but they feel like a lot because
Yeah, it takes time.
you do a lot of shuffles
The
in the end
procedure,
to
yeah.
prove that it's fair, which I get why you did it. It didn't really make sense the first time I watched the video. It was like, why are you gonna shuffle 8 cards? I mean, they're gonna be either like this or like 2 and 2, 1, 2, 2.
I think it went like the first one was 1 by 1.
Mm-hmm.
Then it was interweave, which was
Yeah.
okay, that looks harder.
Yeah.
And then the third one it wasn't hard as this.
Yeah, it was a bit harder. We wanted it to be.
It was face up, but then you shuffle the cards, so it confused.
We wanted the third phase to be more impressive compared to the others.
If you had a method to go like face up, interweave, put them down,
Yeah.
4 and 4, and they change, that would be the perfect thing.
Yeah. So yeah, maybe or tone down the previous phases so the third one looks better.
Yeah.
But I don't know if you can do this here. I mean, what you gonna do?
And another thing you could add is to make it look somehow harder. is to evolve the magical gesture, because you
Yeah.
begin with the two hands like this. Maybe the second one you can go with one hand. Maybe the third one just do a wave or I don't know what. It's something
Yeah.
to show that it's evolving.
It becomes harder.
Yeah,
It's-
yeah.
yeah. It's something. It's changing in the
Yeah.
in the process. But yeah, very nice submission overall. And thank you.
Thanks.
So it's time to announce this week's winner, and it's none other than JP.
With the separating cards routine.
Yeah, the oil and water. It was very nice.
Technically, it was flawless.
Yeah, that's what we discussed. We had some issues with the presentation
Yeah.
because of the explanation stuff, etc.
But again, this is personal preference. And,
Yeah.
I mean, I would love to see an updated version with
Yeah,
another
absolutely.
presentation, maybe. But
Your
as a
technique,
routine
though,
was perfect.
Perfect. Yeah.
You get a $25 gift certificate to spend on illusionist.com. Don't forget to use our code DARKROOM to get 10% extra off on your order.
And we wanted to say, we had a couple of people in the Discord server mention that we were a bit harsh in the
Yeah.
previous episode of Tips and Tricks. And we want to say, first of all, this is how we should be. Because when we show our effects to each other,
Yeah.
that's how we react. Well, actually,
We are harsh when we talk to each
Yeah,
other.
that's nothing.
Then that's a good way to evolve.
Yeah.
Because first of all, it comes from the heart. It comes from some people that truly care about the evolution of the art and care about each other, care about you guys. So if Johnny shows me something and I tell him, oh, that's horrible.
That looks, yeah.
I
By
don't
the
mean
way,
that
he
he's
was
horrible.
never that nice. If I show him something and he doesn't like it, he's gonna let me know. And that's good.
And
Yeah.
again, if I say, "Oh my God, that's horrible," that doesn't mean that
Yeah.
he is a horrible. I perceive him as a horrible magician. The move is horrible, or his technique is horrible, and it's something that he needs to fix.
Yeah,
And
and that's what we do with you guys because we care, and that's how you. If we were like, oh, all the submissions were great, congratulations, you would not evolve.
no one get. But since you were talking about harshness, we
Yeah.
had an idea.
If you want to see how we treat each other when
Yeah.
we show stuff to each other, submit a video with the hashtag roast edition.
Yeah,
You can
And-
do it either on our Discord
Discord?
server on video submissions.
or on the submissions@illusions.com
Yeah.
email that's on the description.
If we see a submission with the hashtag roast edition, and when we have 5 of them,
We're gonna do a roast episode.
we're not gonna, because the submissions that we do on Tips and Tricks, we watch them beforehand so we can take notes, to be
Yeah.
constructive, etc. If you send submissions for the roast edition, we're gonna watch them for the first time here live.
While shooting, it's
So-
gonna be a real reaction.
Yeah.
And we're gonna roast it. We're gonna
Yeah.
be exactly as we talk to each other.
Yeah.
It's gonna be harsh. It's gonna be
From the heart.
productive, and
Yeah.
it's gonna be constructive.
Yeah.
But we're not gonna hold our punches.
Yeah. So that's it for this week's episode. Thank you so much for joining us.
I really hope you have a good time. Don't forget to like our video, subscribe to our channel, and we'll see you all next week.